Hi everyone, welcome back. And if you're stopping by for the first time, welcome to a space where we talk about ways to reduce stress by choosing peace and finding joy. In today's episode, we're talking about friendship and what it means to show up on purpose. Friendships are kind of like a garden, right? They need caring and nurturing and sometimes a little pruning. I'll be honest, I wasn't being a really good friend to someone who was important to me, and she pruned me out of her garden of friends. What followed was an uncomfortable but loving lesson in boundaries and accountability and the weight that we need to carry in the relationships that matter most. Come with me.
It's the Don't Be a Miserable Cow podcast with your host, Lisa Marshall.
Today I'm having a conversation with my dear friend Vicki. She's been a steady, grounding presence in my life for many years. Her professional background is rooted in care and healing. She was a massage therapist, she's done cosmetology, and ultimately, her and her husband Rob ran a chiropractic wellness clinic for 20 years before they retired. Vicki is the most organized person I've ever met. She finds joy in simple, meaningful moments. She loves the comforts of cooking and sharing food, laughing with the people that she loves, taking a walk, appreciating nature. But what I love most about Vicki can't be found on a resume. Vicki is someone who shows up thoughtfully and consistently. She taught me the value of boundaries, clear communication, and mutual effort that she brings to the relationships that matter. Say hello to Vicki Langone. Hi, Vicki.
Hi, Lisa.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
I want to share with you that I'm so grateful that you're here. You've been such a constant and loving presence in my life and such an amazing friend. And I want to thank you for being here to share this conversation that we're about to have. It's very important to me, and it means more than you know.
I'm overwhelmed with that, but thank you very much.
I love you. Let's start by sharing with the audience how we met.
Okay.
You tell this story.
May I tell it?
Please.
Okay. So as you remember, you were a hotty-toddy advertisement, and we had our clinic, our health clinic, and you came in to sell advertising, and you were talking to one of our employees who was trying to make an appointment with you.
Yeah.
But during our lunch break, you just took the bull by the horns and decided, hell, I'm not waiting till next week.
I'm not talking to him on the phone. I'm going in there.
I don't know where the hell you were at the end of Connecticut or something.
Oh, I came from Andover.
Andover,
I drove
like,
the whole
zoom,
way.
right.
That sounded like a sale to me.
Yeah. So, and our employee was a younger kid at the time. And you came walking through the door. Boom! Here's Lisa. You had all of your advertisement stuff.
All of my assets.
All of your assets, all packed into one nice package. And that's when we met. Super spark. I was behind the front desk going, okay. And shortly after that, it was magic.
When did our relationship turn from a connection to a friendship?
I can't tell you exactly, except it took off fast.
Yeah.
And I remember other friend groups and couples that we are close to and still love to this day were like, who's this Lisa and Peter? Yeah. Because we started vacationing.
Yes.
And our husbands really connected in so many areas. And it's hard to find a relationship that both entities match up with the other two entities.
It is, but we fit like a puzzle, right?
Yes.
What do you think draws us to someone before we call them a friend?
Energy.
Their assets.
Their assets. I think it's the energy, the connectivity. It's almost like that first date, but with a friend. There's an exchange of energy. There's things to learn about each other and share.
Yeah. I feel like you and I, even when we have a conversation, we haven't been together for, let's say, a month and we go out to lunch, we're both very wide-eyed, right? Like,
Correct.
We can't wait to hear what the other one's saying. I see it in your expression. I feel it in my heart when I listen to you, and we laugh all the time.
We are like little ferrets.
Yeah, we're silly.
We're trying to get everything out.
Yeah, we laugh a lot. We're spiritual in the same way. What are some of your favorite memories
Of you?
of us?
Smoking cigarettes when nobody was watching.
I never smoked a cigarette.
I think getting the joke and having the joke.
Yeah.
Like you and Peter, remember we kept your car while you were traveling for 2 weeks?
Oh, yes.
Australia, right?
Your house is close to the airport. So we drove to your house and then you drove us to the airport. No.
That was a different story. But we had your car and our neighbors were away to Florida. And so we stored your car.
Okay.
And so it was wintertime and stuff. So it was all tucked away. And you guys get off this long ass trip. Show up at the house. I think somebody like you Ubered or something to get there. You were in no hurry to get home. We sat and talked until, I don't even know, did you spend the night that night?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent the night at your house many times. Downstairs, upstairs, blow up mattress.
Yeah.
There were weekends that we would plan, or overnights, I should say, not entire weekends, where we would plan. We'd just bring a bag.
Yeah.
Because we knew
You just never knew we were just gonna.
we knew we were going to be drinking, and we knew we weren't going to be driving.
Which brings me to another point about you, girlfriend.
Yes.
I love you, but you always live in the hardest damn places to get to. Could you reconsider that?
No, it's not that hard. You know, you can Uber here.
Anyway.
So we've mentioned Peter a couple of times. Mm-hmm. For those who are listening or watching, can you introduce Peter and who he was to me?
Peter was Lisa's soulmate, best friend. They were like left hand and right hand. He was as quiet as she was bubbly. Super smart man. Considerate. I remember him showing up at the office one night. We were doing something, and he was considerate bringing Rob a bottle of his favorite tequila or something because he just knew that Rob liked that.
Yeah.
And he and Rob would just have the best time together in their own little quiet sandbox.
Which was great, because then we could be in our sandbox.
We were yeah, Peter was very special. Great guy.
Yeah, he was. So, and Peter passed away from early onset Alzheimer's disease the day after Christmas, 2021. So it's been several years now. When he was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, how did you see that change my life and our relationship?
First of all, we had this, I stepped back and went, no, this is not happening.
Yeah.
We all had, I think, that kind of like,
Yeah, we were in denial.
holy moly.
Yeah.
I felt, how do I show up as a friend? Because that was a territory I didn't understand.
Yeah, me neither.
And what level was I as a friend to not overstep? Because you have a big family. You had a lot of contacts.
Yeah.
So how much Vicki do we put into that? Then I come to realize as time went on, those and many other people started to kind of disappear because they were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were just getting on with their lives and...
Yeah. And they didn't see, I think, I may be speaking for you here, but they didn't see the things that I needed.
Right. Well, you were a little bit tough about that. You had to hit you on the head about tell us.
What did you think I needed at that point that I didn't maybe realize I needed?
You need somebody to take care of you.
Yeah.
because you were doing 110% taking care of Peter, and Peter could not have had a better caregiver.
Thank you.
I guarantee he's, he didn't sign up for this disease, but he was very, very grateful to have you. And so you did need some nurturing, and you also needed you needed your own little escapes.
Yeah, I surely did. I needed time away from caregiving or time in my own house without Peter. And that's where your husband Rob came in, where
Rob was great.
He would take Peter to a brewery or bowling or to the beach or for a walk or whatever.
Peter at some points couldn't even put together a sentence.
Exactly.
And Rob's like, I don't care.
But we got to be in our sandbox.
We had to be in our sandbox. Remember they went to the beach? We were down in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And Peter came back with his pockets full of rocks.
Oh my God, he loved to collect everything. Oh my God.
So Rob will come upstairs from his office, and he'll be wearing two hats, literally. Like he has what we call his hair, because he's bald, so he wears, like a toque. And then he might just, I'm going to take that ball cap upstairs, and he puts it on his head, and then he forgets. And I'd say, hi, Peter, because remember, Peter would wear two hats.
He would wear two hats and 4 T-shirts and a pair of shorts over his pants, and we just let him dress however he was comfortable.
You were just happy to get him dressed.
I was just happy he was dressed. Yeah. What are some of the ways that you showed up for me? I know I was stubborn in asking for help, but you would help me anyway in your Vicki way.
I think one of the things that I learned from your situation is don't just give it a generic question. What do you need?
Yeah.
No, you need to say to that person, do you need me to cook for you? Do you need me to, I don't know, take the trash out? What do you need, and give? Because you've got enough to think about. So I cooked for you.
You did. You would come over with just boxes of food.
And I didn't know if you enjoyed them or not, but I thought at least Peter is going to eat them because he won't know.
It was amazing. I mean, individually prepared meals for the freezer, for the refrigerator, for days. Not just for that day, but for days. You showed up for me as a very good friend.
Well,
and
you do the same. I hope you don't have to, but you did the same.
I would absolutely do the same.
And let's put it into perspective also. When Peter was at his worst, it was during the damn pandemic.
That's true too.
So you were isolated. Remember I showed up and we had to stand out on the porch? Because we were not supposed to, we were supposed to.
Oh, yeah, everybody was so afraid. We had masks on.
And poor Peter, who's half out of his brain, had to look at everybody with masks on.
He could barely recognize a face anyway, and then you put a mask on it. He doesn't like the way the mask feels, all of that. Yes, it was terrible.
You did a great job, though.
Thank you.
God bless you.
I'm sure that there were moments when you showed up in the big ways that you did. I mean, you made meals for me. You sat with me. You drank wine with me. You cried with me, laughed with me. You did all of the things that I could ever imagine and really never could have the courage to ask for, but you showed up. Were there times when that felt heavy for you? Or you had to be really intentional about doing it?
No, it came pretty easy because especially Rob and I were like, damn, she's got a lot going on. And one of the things that I appreciated is that I could show up as I would show up. And it could be a bad, distasteful something to most people, but you could just get a laugh out of it.
It was probably comic relief for me.
It was just, yeah.
And Peter loved you too.
He did pretty good.
He did, and I remember one specific time when the two of you came over and Peter was just starting to get into the delusional phase and you were giving him a massage and he just melted.
He liked the touch.
He did. He absolutely did. And he connected with you in a really big way. So I say all of that to hold you up
Oh,
and honor you as a friend.
wow.
I'm going
Thank
to
you.
try not to get emotional here, but I know that I will. You've just been a lovely, constant friend for me. And, like a garden, we have to nurture our friendships. And like a garden, sometimes there's people that need to get pruned. So let's start easing into that conversation and that area of our lives. How do you think walking through illness and eventually loss affected our friendship?
We all knew what the end game was for Peter. And what does that mean when that is done? So there's going to be another area of wanting to nurture and be there. Maybe it was my selfish part of going, well, Lisa and I can finally do boom.
Yeah.
Because, we always had just, short amount of time. And I just thought there would be a time of
Us.
But at the same time, you had been taking care of a 56-year-old toddler for what, 3 years?
3.5 years, 3 years and 8 months from diagnosis until Peter passed away.
So Peter passed as a husband a long, long time ago.
Yes.
And then you just had this tearing off this Band-Aid really, really slow. So you had processed and you were ready to go. And I'm sure that was hard
I had been grieving. Right?
I'm sure that was tough on you and other people looking in, not understanding why you didn't stay in the trenches while people didn't realize you were in the trenches.
That's a very common
Sure.
misnomer because people don't realize that grief with Alzheimer's starts way before the body actually dies. So I think that time in our lives, because you showed up so beautifully for me, certainly strengthened our relationship. But I didn't honor it as I should have.
But you know what? That is something that, shame on me for expecting you to. At that juncture of what you were going through. I mean, you were getting to know a new normal again.
Yeah, so let's get into it. The nitty-gritty of why we're talking about this today. When I started dating, what changes did you notice in our friendship? And you can be very frank.
You were
be honest.
very, very busy, and you have to remember that our relationship started out as two couples and girlfriends.
Yeah.
And then you were on a fast track that I don't live in. I'm
Yeah.
married.
Yeah.
So I was taken back, yes, but I was kind of like, when am I going to have time? When am I going to be on our fast track to do something? But that was my expectation, and that should not have been put on you.
Oh, I disagree. I feel as though I took you for granted that you would always be there for me, no matter
I
how.
would.
No, I know that you would, but kind of.
Well.
No matter how I behaved, right? Shame on me. I should have continued to be the friend that you were being to me, right? Instead, we would schedule lunch and I would cancel it because of the latest boyfriend or the latest date. And I would cancel dinner and I wouldn't respond to texts in the timely fashion that I was responding
That was your
to them.
normal personality.
Yeah, I was putting you on the back burner, and you were immensely important to me, but I wasn't treating you like you were immensely important to me.
Breakdowns and breakthroughs, right?
I guess, and I want to say before we get into the actual moment of the pruning, that it has changed our relationship. The courage and bravery that it took for you to prune me has taught me a very valuable lesson. in how I treat you and all of my relationships now. So first of all, thank you for that. So let's talk about what happened. So I had canceled, I think, 3 lunches or three things with you. And then I was feeling the distance. And
Excuse, I need to interrupt you
Yep.
there. It wasn't just those appointments that we had, but it was coming off Peter's passing,
yeah,
and it picked up momentum. And I had less and less and less Lisa. So at some point, love you, you're not out of my life, but,
yeah,
you know, I'm not a priority, so I can
well, you're not
step-
being treated as a priority. 100% guilty. So I texted you and said, do you mind if I read the text? I have it here. Okay.
I'm sure there were some misspellings.
I was feeling the distance that I had created in our friendship. And I said to you, just super casually, okay, I'm done being a shitty friend. Can you please put me on your calendar? And I'm going to read your response, and then I want to know how you chose those words. Were you thinking about this? Were you waiting for me to reach out to you? Did you have to think about these words? Like, tell me the thought process after this. And this was you responded with the most respect, but also very much in Vicki style. This is my boundary, which is it's what I love most about you. We were just talking about this before we came on. I just love that you know where your boundaries are. Here's the text. You responded, "Hi. Thought about this text, Lisa, but we are in different lanes on this road of life. However, I still love you. And my reality is that I have 2 weekends of house guests starting soon, so I will have to table a date for another time. I do hope you are safe and well. Hugs, V." So how did you choose those words? What did that feel like? Did you think about my response? Were you just like, I'm done? Tell me what you were feeling.
At that time, first of all, I've been on the planet long enough that you need to take a step back and think about, especially if you're going to put in a text or something, you're going to think about how that lands and be respectful and not an asshole to the person you're responding, unless they are really an asshole. But I just thought, well, let's just nip this in the bud about chasing each other. I'm going to be here. I'm just going to be here right now. And when you get done and settle down, then we can regroup, basically. And I was being honest with that.
Yeah.
I had people come in, and I'm like a little dotty domestic, and I had to, fluff my sheets and iron my pillowcases. And that's where it came from. It's like, I'm done putting something on the calendar and I got other things to do.
Yeah.
And I don't like to beg anybody to be my friend.
I had taken a notch down. Like, I was pruned and put down. And may I share how it affected me?
Absolutely.
It was profound for me. Hold on.
Wow.
I know where I was standing. I know what I was doing. And the thought of losing your friendship was devastating.
I hope you never felt that was a threat, though.
No.
We would
oh,
always
no.
be
I know
friends.
you too well. I know you too well that you, but it was more, I was so disappointed in myself that I had let you down.
Wow.
I was so disappointed in myself that I had let you down and that I had put somebody I barely knew, some new, whatever, some new benefit, we'll call it.
But I was clear on we're on 2 different lanes in life because I couldn't relate to what you were doing.
Yeah.
You could relate to what I was doing because you'd done it.
Yes.
And I was like, I can't keep up with this. And
I could barely relate to what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know, I was pretty manic at that time after Peter's death, but it did ground me, and it did teach me a valuable lesson in where my energy should be spent.
And I mean it from my heart. I was concerned about your safety.
Yeah. Well, with that guy.
Well, I just was concerned. You lived out in the willy wags, and I just like, it's not like you walk in a room and people don't notice you. Remember, we've gone to a couple things, and I walked recently. We went to the bonsai class, and I went to the bathroom, and there was some guy talking to you, and I was like, hello. And we were in Boston.
What were we in Boston for?
For the Hicks
Oh,
thing.
Esther Hicks. Oh, yeah.
I went to the bathroom, I came back, and there was this guy, like, didn't want anything. I said, hello. You weren't doing anything. You were sitting there waiting for me to come back. We're having dinner. My point is, you don't blend.
Okay. Well, I don't know where to go from there.
That I loved you, and I still love you, and one of my concerns was your safety.
My safety. So I'm in shock now, right? Let's get back to what happens next. So I'm in shock. I'm feeling terrible. The very first thing I do is I text you back, and I said, I'm sorry I suck. I miss you. I made it about me again. I miss you, right? So now I go immediately to the store, and I get the sweetest card I can find for my friend, and I pop it in the mail, and I wait. And then I couldn't wait any longer. And I think you sent me a little meme or something, and I was like, oh, thank God she's talking to me. Okay, we're gonna tiptoe through this. So I sent you another text. And I was really falling on my sword here. Thank you for making me look in the mirror. I love you immensely. Thank you for making me realize I haven't been carrying my weight in our relationship. Please know I'm so very grateful that you are my friend. I learned so much from you. And I mean that. I mean that 3.5 years ago can you believe it's been 3.5 years since this? And I mean it today. I value your friendship so much.
I value you as well, and I'm blown away of somebody such as yourself that is a superstar and afraid of very little. And you're okay with this little country mouse.
I'm afraid of very little, but I was afraid of losing you. Yeah. What shifted for you when we started talking again? Like, I feel like that was a moment where you had to trust me that I was going to be a good friend again. That I wasn't going to be an asshole. Because I had turned into an asshole.
I think because if you're invested in a friendship, and it's, there's friendships for that reason, season, or lifer, right? And there's some people you're like, because it's over, or there's nothing else being brought to the party on either side.
Yep.
Is that you hand them some grace, and it's not over, it's just a reboot.
Yeah.
So you showed up, cleaned it up, and why keep hashing it out? It happened in the past. All we have is the stepping forward and going forward, if I had any value in our relationship at all.
Yeah.
And I do.
Right.
So that's why I trust you. I trusted you then, too. You just were, doing your thing.
I was off on some side road.
You're on some side road. Like this road getting into this house. Sorry.
All right. What does carrying your weight in a friendship mean?
Personally, I think it is showing up, and it doesn't have to mean that you got to be up that person's backside 24/7. But you gain a momentum, you gain a trust and a relationship. Like, I believe, because you know who I am, you didn't have to check with me 3 times if I was going to make it today. Because I
didn't even check with you.
I said I was going to do it, and you know I'm going to do it.
You're reliable.
So that
100%.
That is part of that really good. How did you put that? You put it.
What does carrying the relationship in a friendship mean? That's it.
That's it. Making that person feel like they matter. And it might...
making that person feel like they matter. Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. That's
And
a
it
key.
could be showing up because, like, if I knew you had mono, I would have acknowledged it in some manner, shape, or form.
Well, I didn't tell anyone that I had mono.
But, you know, like, I'm just saying, like, that's a point that you would just show up and do that little something. It doesn't have to be a big deal.
Yeah,
It could be a
yeah.
pot of soup.
Yeah, it could be a card. It could be a text or a phone call, right? It's just like, I'm thinking about you.
And it's not about me. Like, oh my goodness, I've had that too. And I was, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and sometimes also, you do not have to, you don't have to fix it. You just have to, that person just wants to talk.
We want to witness.
Just want to just let it-
Vicki, I have mono. Oh my God, I've been so tired. I just want to tell somebody. I just want a little bit of support.
Yes. And
Yeah.
just like, oh, that really sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What can I do for you? Is there anything I can do?
Yeah.
Well, you know, and if you said, you would say no, or you would say, Vicki, I would like.
Yes.
I believe that.
I think because of our past and the experiences that we've now had together through Peter's sickness and death, I can ask you for something that I need.
Absolutely.
I
and
cannot-
if you didn't, that would be bad on you.
Yeah, I can't ask everyone.
No.
You know, we can't. I don't think we can ask everyone for everything. But the people that are closest, who we feel it's unconditional.
Unconditional.
Yeah, it's unconditional, right? Like, no matter what. Like, you could do anything, and I will still love you so much.
I believe you. And that means a lot too.
Yeah.
To know that that person has your back.
Yes.
Getting back to, you know, when you said, you know, how do you know that friend matters?
Yeah.
Well, does that person make me feel like I matter, right? And I want to make sure I have the intentions of making you feel like you matter. But at the same time, I have two things here. At the same time, there's a certain thing I want from you as a friend, but it's not necessarily your responsibility. So the other part, when I have a very good friend we've been friends for 20, 25 years. And I met her when I moved down here from Vermont to Connecticut when we were running our practice. I had a bad day at the office. Rob and I ran our practice together. I think the front desk person had just quit and I had to be put back on, and I just lost it and I just left and went home, which I never would leave my office, but I was that undone.
Oh my God.
I'm at my house in Massachusetts, bawling my eyes out or screaming or whatever.
Yeah.
And this girl, Donna, just shows up, knocks on the door, and it's in the fall, and she just hands me a pumpkin
Oh my God.
and leaves. And ever since then, every year in the fall, I get something in the mail that has a pumpkin on it.
I love that.
And there was no exchange. I didn't have to say anything to her. She was just like, I'm here for you. However, and here's your pumpkin.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
And
That's beautiful. Well, it's unconditional, and that's how you presented everything that you did for me when Peter was sick. You would show up and you would want absolutely nothing in return, and that's unconditional. That's unconditional love.
You had, first of all, you would have given anything, but
I had nothing to
you had
give.
nothing to give. You were
Nothing.
tapped out.
Yeah. Jonathan just said to me the other day, he's like, oh, look, we were looking at old pictures, and he goes, oh, look at you, chunky Lisa. And I was like, dude, I could not take care of both of us. I did not get to take care of myself.
Well, you couldn't even exercise. You're lucky you take a bath.
It's true. I had to have somebody come over so I could get a shower. Yeah, caregiving is no joke, but you certainly helped to relieve some of that stress. Do you think that we've rebalanced our relationship?
On a higher level.
Me too.
I mean, as soon as you acknowledged, cleaned it up,
Made you feel like you matter?
it was like done. It was like, okay, it's cool.
Yeah. But what an important lesson. If you hadn't, let's go down this road for a second. Okay, maybe I have more questions. Let's go down this road for a second. What if you hadn't set that boundary?
We might not be friends.
Yeah.
I think it would have just trickled.
I don't, I mean, I don't, I'm going to agree to disagree here.
Okay.
Because you're so important in my life. I think I would have eventually said, what the hell am I doing? I need to straighten up here. But I'm really thankful that you did. And a lot of people, you realize that a lot of people could not have done what you did.
I think they could if they care enough. If they don't care about, if the relationship is for a reason, the reason's over.
Well, that's true.
So I think if they care enough and they're invested enough to swing the bat. I mean, we've been friends for 10 years, but I feel like it's been 20 years.
Oh my God, I agree. Because we were connected almost instantly, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember staying at your house when Peter was alive. We had a bonfire and this and that, and it was kind of a cold night. And Peter's son came in the house, and he's just very proper. And I said, "Hi, I think I'm wearing your sweatshirt and I'm sleeping in your bed tonight." And he said, "Where are my parents?"
It's like our house was your house. Just come in, make yourself at
I
home.
do have one thing that Rob and I have been concerned about.
What?
Based on your personality and your sense of humor, the first night we stayed at your place, we brought every piece of luggage empty into your place because we thought it would be funny for one night.
Yeah.
And I was like, she didn't laugh at that. And then we went and traveled with you, and Rob had a carry-on, I had a carry-on, and you brought every piece of luggage that you owned full.
That's why it wasn't funny.
That's why it wasn't funny. We didn't get that.
Oh my God. Because that's how I travel.
That's how I roll.
That's how I roll. Girls got to have options.
So Rob and I were like, damn, we thought that would land better.
I mean, it was okay. What do you hope people who are listening will reflect on regarding tending to relationships that are important to them?
First of all, acknowledging what relationships that are important. And they don't have to be every one.
Yeah.
But do you care enough to put the time in? And let that person know. And the other part is, that person might not be on their game because maybe you just don't know everything that's going on. You got to give them some grace also. Because you don't know what you don't know.
That's true. And not every relationship is worth nurturing.
No, because if there's a person that is the constant dumper.
I've experienced that.
Excuse me, I'm not your girl.
I think you and I had a bump, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out strengthening our relationship. But what you're talking about is somebody who just constantly sucks the energy out of you.
Constant.
Doesn't give you any energy back. I think you
Doesn't
and
bring
I,
anything to the party.
you and I give each other energy all the time. That's why we get into trouble.
I mean, I had one person that I was being friends with, and it was during a time in my life that I had somebody very close to me moving, which was a heartache, like a breakup. And all she wanted to do was cry. And I was like, I am not getting paid, and I don't have enough credentials for this. And I stepped out of it.
Yeah.
Like, no, because I can't do it.
Yes, and I've had a similar situation with someone who would just come and just, every time we were together, it was woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, and I was the therapist, and I never got any therapy back. Mm-hmm. And I had to
fun.
I had to prune that relationship too.
Did you regret that?
No.
And
It just wilted away.
It just
wilted away.
It seeks its own level.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, darling. Love you.
I love you too. You know what we're going to do now?
We're going to have at least another 10 more years of friendship.
At least.
At least, okay.
I mean, I'm not even, we're both in our, never mind. I'm going to be 60 this year.
Yes, you are.
Who gets married when they're 60?
Yeah, who does get married when they're 60?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's it for today. We'll leave you with this episode's interactive question. Who shows up for you, and how do you show up for them? head over to joywithlisa.com and tell us all about it. And remember, you have a choice. Choose peace, choose joy, and don't be a miserable cow. See you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thanks for spending this time with us on the Don't Be a Miserable Cow podcast with your host, Lisa Marshall. If you're looking for a little more guidance or encouragement, you can find Lisa's books, Find Joy, No Regrets, and Oh, Hello, Alzheimer's. And if you'd like to support the show or learn more about Lisa and her guests, visit us at joywithlisa.com.